In the previous video of chemical equilibrium, we have learned about equilibrium constant. So let's write the equilibrium constant for the given reaction. So you will get concentration of C raised to C multiplied by concentration of D raised to D divided by concentration of A raised to A multiplied by concentration of B raised to B. Here Kc is the equilibrium constant and C stands for concentration. But if reaction involves only gases, then it is convenient to write the equilibrium constant in terms of partial pressure. So when it is asked to write the equilibrium constant in terms of partial pressure, you just have to replace concentration term with the pressure. For example here, when you write the equilibrium constant in terms of partial pressure, you will get partial pressure of C raised to C multiplied by partial pressure of D raised to D divided by partial pressure of A raised to A multiplied by partial pressure of B raised to B. But how is pressure related to concentration? So here we have the ideal gas equation, that is PV is equal to nRT. Here P stands for pressure, V is the volume, N is the number of moles of gases and R is the gas constant. So when you rearrange this equation, you will get P is equal to nRT over V, or we can rewrite this equation as P is equal to N over V RT. So it is moles per liter. That is nothing but the concentration. So we can get the equation pressure is equal to concentration multiplied by RT. We just have derived the relation P is equal to CRT. When you replace the partial pressure of C with the concentration, you will get concentration of C multiplied by RT and whole raised to C. Similarly, for partial pressure of D, you will get concentration of D multiplied by RT and whole raised to power D. For partial pressure of A, you will get concentration of A multiplied by RT whole raised to power A. And for the partial pressure of B, you will get concentration of B multiplied by RT whole raised to power B. Now open the bracket. So you will get Kp is equal to concentration of C raised to C multiplied by RT whole raised to C multiplied by concentration of D raised to D multiplied by RT whole raised to D divided by concentration of A raised to A multiplied by RT whole raised to A multiplied by B raised to B multiplied by RT whole raised to B. Now write all the concentration terms together. So here you will get Kp is equal to concentration of C raised to C D raised to D multiplied by RT whole raised to power C plus D divided by concentration of A raised to A multiplied by concentration of B raised to B multiplied by RT whole raised to A plus B. We have equation Kc is equal to C raised to C multiplied by D raised to D divided by A raised to A multiplied by B raised to B. That means we can replace this term with Kc. So here you will get Kp is equal to Kc multiplied by RT whole raised to C plus D divided by RT whole raised to A plus B. When we simplify this equation, you will get Kp is equal to Kc multiplied by RT whole raised to C plus D minus A plus B. Here C and D are the number of moles of product, while A and B are the number of moles of reactant. So we can write it in generalized way. Kp is equal to Kc multiplied by RT whole raised to number of moles of product minus number of moles of reactant. Or we can write Kp is equal to Kc RT whole raised to delta N. That is the difference of number of moles of product and number of moles of reactant. So this is the relation between Kp and Kc. Now come to the characteristics of equilibrium constant. The value of equilibrium constant is independent of initial concentrations of either of the reactant or product. Equilibrium constant is temperature dependent, hence Kc or Kp both changes with changing the temperature. Equilibrium constant has a characteristics value for a particular reversible reaction represented by a balanced chemical equation at a given temperature, as it is temperature dependent. Higher value of Kp or Kc means more concentration of product is formed and the equilibrium point is more towards right hand side or vice versa. So let's try to understand it by the application of equilibrium constant. It helps you to predict the direction of the reaction and to know the extent of the reaction. For example, in this reaction, when you take the ratio of product and reactant at any time of the reaction, you will get concentration of product over concentration of reactant, or you can write it concentration of C raised to C multiplied by concentration of D raised to D divided by concentration of A raised to A multiplied by concentration of B raised to B. It is equal to QC, that is the reaction quotient, as it is measured at any time of the reaction. But when it is measured at the time of equilibrium, you will get C raised to C multiplied by D raised to D divided by A raised to A multiplied by B raised to B is equal to equilibrium constant, as it is measured at the time of equilibrium. If QC is equal to Kc, that means reaction is already at equilibrium. But if QC is less than Kc, that means numerator of Kc is more than the numerator of QC. Means to attain the equilibrium, more product has to be produced. And it can be produced when reaction proceed in forward direction. So if QC is less than Kc, reaction will proceed in the forward direction. Now come to the another condition where QC is more than Kc. In that case, to attain the equilibrium, product concentration has to reduce. Product concentration can be reduced by converting it to reactant. That means reaction will proceed in the backward direction if QC is more than Kc.